snap, it's crackle, what a happy sound. You gotta have a crackle or the sound not bound. You can snap a hop and cereal slap and snap, crackle, pop makes the world go round.
What's up, guys? I'm back with another video, and it's been a while. It's been really busy these last few weeks, and I just have not had a chance to do a video. So this one is, as you guys can see, we have ourselves an Xbox Series X. Now, this one came in due to complaints of shutting down. Holy smokes, I'm seeing some good stuff right there already. I don't know if you guys can see in there. Oh yeah, the camera's catching it. That is a huge dust bunny covering the fin stack in there. So that's a good sign that she needs to get clean. So I am going to cover the stuff that we normally skip through, which is the removal procedure and how to take the consoles actually apart. I know we usually just skip through a lot of that stuff when we're doing HDMI replacements and things like this. So I want to make sure I kind of capture the whole process here on a cleaning. So I will do my best to edit it. But our first step is going to be, let's check this HDMI port, and we'll make sure that it actually powers on before we do anything, just to confirm that we do indeed have a working console. Let's hit the power button here. See if we get some action. Okay, so there we go. We do indeed have a bidding console, so this is good. It does look like this is a smoker's Xbox, and the way you can generally tell a smoker's Xbox is generally the dust is quite sticky. So when it does that, it does tend to build up faster, and yeah, so looks like somebody's been into this one. We've got two screws, one here, and there's one behind this little plastic covers. Generally, these are a green looking screw, and it is a machine screw. It's not like a self-tapper plastic screw. Okay, and then this one, which is behind this sticker. Okay, that was already torn, so no point in trying to save it. Alright, so once we get that, we're going to use a pry tool. I usually just start on the bottom and then I kind of go to the sides here. Just like this, and just gently work it away. Alright, and just gently do that, and as you can see upon visual inspection, you can see there is quite a bit of dust in there. The fin stack is completely clogged. As you can see, that dust goes all the way to the back, and that's completely clogged. So you're not going to get any air movement through that. That is definitely going to cause your console to overheat. So the way this actually works is the console pulls air through the top. So it's pulling through all the venting around the bottom, and also on the back case, or on the bottom side here. So the air is basically being pulled through that way through the console, and that's why you see, generally speaking, you'll see all the buildup on an Xbox Series X will be at the bottom of the fin stack, or on, you know, kind of at that spot. So enough talking, let's get going here. Start with the fan. Same screw size for everything on the Xbox Series X, and I will be going down to repaste this on the main board as well. For once, I don't have to touch an HDMI port, which is amazing. That is the most common repair out there, is fixing HDMI ports, because yeah, it's a thing. Okay, inside the fan, we'll deal with the fan later, and some of the other stuff here. I'm not gonna worry about that right away, but as you can see, pretty gross. Okay, our next order of business is to get into the actual console and get the drive removed. We've got to get this cover off. It's held on by a screw here and a screw that's underneath the actual stand. So to get the stand off, there's actually a little tab. You can kind of just see it there. It's a little square one. Let's see if I can get the tool in there at the same time. I probably won't be able to pry it at the same time, but at least I can show you where it is. Yeah, there we go. I got it started. So next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to remove this screw that's up in the top corner. And over here, this holds the one side of the cover. And this one over here, right in there. Okay, once you got that, again, you can use your prying tool. I really like this one. You can buy these in like a little 3 set or whatever. This is my go-to. I use it all the time. So I usually just kind of get it started over on this corner here. There is some rubber pieces in here that kind of provide some cushioning on the drive, so it doesn't just come right off. You can see it right here, both edges. Next order of business, let's get the connector out. All connectors, I do the same way. I pinch as close as I can to the connector, gently rock side by side while pulling up, and it'll come. The SATA port on these can be challenging. They are quite tight, especially if they've never come off before. Usually the best thing to use here is a pair of pliers. And you can just get on both sides of it and just grab and pull, just like so. And pull the drive straight back. Our Nexus connector, which goes to our power button, okay? There's a little silver tab, and I'm gonna have trouble showing it to you guys because it's kind of on the inside. But if you look at where that cable comes down, you'll see a little piece of metal in there. It's like a little metal tabby. Just gently press down on it. You'll actually see it press down, and then just pull the connector straight back, just like that. Your main connector, and the other thing I like to do is I like to bend the cable so it points down, because when I pull this out, this will get in the way. Okay, and then this connector, I usually use X-Acto blade for this. Again, this is going to be kind of hard to see, but if you look right in here, let's see if I can do this while holding it up. Right in here, and we're going to pop that little lid right there, you see? And once it's up, just make sure you click it from both sides. I only got one side there. Click it from both sides, and you'll notice it'll hinge up. See it here? Got it loose. There, the door's up right there. Once that's good, you can basically just pull this straight back, this connector. This will usually come off, especially on older consoles. So this part of the cable is actually glued. So you need to be careful when you're trying to get this off, that you apply even pressure underneath to unstick it so you don't rip the cable, okay? So you just want to gently get it up and then pull that connector straight back, just like that. Here, same thing, we're going to bend that cable back. Okay, so now I've got Nexus, our main power connector, which goes to all of our ports. In case you guys are wondering what that's for, that actually goes to all of our stuff that's kind of in the front here. Right here. Easiest to do this vertically until the last screw. Do not take all 3 screws out while it's vertical, because you will drop the console's inner guts into oblivion that way. So I'm just going to remove the 2 and then get the last one while it's horizontal here, like this, and out it comes. Okay, Now the main block or the main cube, however you want to think about it, it's free inside the plastic housing, so you can simply move it forward a little bit. There's a couple little pins in here, so you want to pop it forward and then straight up and out. Primary problem right here. This is why the Xbox is overheating. You can see the fin stack is 100% clogged. Apparently this is about 4 years old. It's never been cleaned before. And you can see it's quite bad. You can even see in the power supply here, in the cover, like there is literally dust everywhere. Use my tweezers here. I usually just get my tweezers kind of in here to start. Bring it in here a little bit more so you can see what's going on. Okay. Get them in here and just kind of, oh, it's like a blanket. A blanket of dust. You see how gross that is. Because that was basically acting as a filter. Wow. Yeah, that's one solid mat of dust. Okay, we'll get this one here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, now that we're into the console, we've got a bulk of the main problem cleared off the console. As you can see, it's nice and clear and open again. I'll blow that out a little bit extra, but that will work a lot better now. The rubber band that's in here, there's a clip on this side, so where the Wi-Fi board is, there's a little clip that you can just pull down on that and just pull it back and unwrap like that, and it ends on that clip, or starts on that clip if you want to think of it that way. So the tab actually fits over that and in. Okay, throw that up to the side, we don't need it. And we are going to start with the board. I'm going to go ahead and take these 3 screws out. Once those are out, it just plugs in. There's just a little plug here. Easy peasy. Throw that off to the side. Our next order of business is to start to get the top half removed here. So I usually like to start with the power plug. We're going to remove the 3 silver screws over in the corner here. These are a little bit longer. There'll be 2 short guys and 1 long one on the power connector. And you're going to basically put your fingers under this and kind of pry up, and it'll undo the clip. And at that point, you'll be able to get the power cable kind of free there. Okay, so now that that's that, we'll get this little cover here that covers one of the screws. Just pop that up out of our way, this little guy here. Okay, power supply held in it by another black screw. And a silver screw, which is going to be a long screw. This is what actually keeps the 2 halves of the sandwich together. Long screws, yeah, we ended up with 2, 4, 6 long screws over here. You can see them, and 3 of the shorter silver screws. The rest of them are these black ones, so they're pretty easy. Okay, so now that should come right off. Be gentle. Alright, this little cover in here, plastic cover, is kind of the same. You just kind of get your fingers under it and snap it out of the way. And we have a couple things we need to do here. We have a power connector right here that has to come up and out of the way. And then we have this block connector. Now the way I get this block connector is there is a capture clip on the plug. So you just have to make sure that you push it on the top of it in, and then just gently wiggle your block connector with it pressed in, and it should let go. These can be a bit of a pain in the butt. Just be careful you're not putting any pressure anywhere else, but once you get it, it should just come out like that. It was a little rough, but it did come, and you can see what I mean here. It's this little clip right there, and you're just pressing on the top here to release the bottom of it. Okay, so with that, power supply is out. Okay, now a lot of people will go ahead and start taking this part apart. You don't have to. The part doesn't need to come apart at all. You can leave it the way it is. If you need to remove the South Bridge board for any reason, that is about the only time you need to remove it. The console will separate, so you don't need to go any further. Right here we have the main ribbon cable. You need to be careful with this. This is the main connection between the two boards. So there's a clip right in the middle. You're going to push in, grab both sides of the cable and gently rock it. And there we go. Make sure you get it. There you go. If you're doing it right, it won't be hard to come out. It'll come right off. Okay, at this point, the console's ready to be split. We can grab it here and here. And I usually just kind of rock back and forth here. And boom, there you go, we're in. X-clamp's real easy on these ones. 4 screws. You do not want to unscrew them all at once. You want to crisscross, so a couple turns, go to the next one, directly across from it. A couple turns, go across in a crisscross removal pattern. This will remove the tension off the processor equally and prevent any possible issues with you cracking the die due to pressure being harder on one side than the other. Unlikely to happen, but this is the proper way to do it, just like a wheel on your car. We need to lift that board off. So again, you're just going to start on the edges here and just gently pull up. It generally will let go, especially if it's super dry, which this one is very dry. And this is what we have right here. As you can see, there's pretty much chalk left on that APU, and same with the fin stack side. So let's just start with our processor. Alrighty, so what do we do? As you can see, I don't know what happened here. That shouldn't be there at all. Like, it was almost like the robot came along and just like squirted out a bunch of this, like way too much. Now, when I clean these, I do not try and scrub all of this out of here. You can certainly take a toothbrush and IPA and get in there and scrub all that thermal putty out of there. I just prefer not to put too much impact on the board when I'm working on it. So the main areas I will focus on is the top of the die, which is the important part, shiny part right here. You want to be careful when you're in here, right? So what I usually do is I just clean the edge of the APU so that I know I got a little bit of room there for the new thermal paste to squish out. And also I clean up the main contact areas, which is what's important. Like, I know it doesn't look great all around, but it's not going to hurt anything. It's thermal paste. It's totally fine to be there. It's not helping us. It's not hurting us. But like I said, the potential to have something go wrong here is not worth the risk, especially with somebody that doesn't do this all the time. You know, it's safer just to clean around, just like I'm showing you here, and not worry about all of this extra stuff. Yes, you can, but it's unnecessary and unneeded. So we'll clean that off and we'll move over to, because this is now prepped for thermal paste. So pop that off to the side, and we're going to bring the fin stack in here. This side, generally, I do completely clean because there's really no potential to hurt anything. What does Snap Crackle Pop use on all customer boards when they bring them to me? A lot of people use Arctic Silver. There's a couple different brands out there you can use, obviously, to do this, but the one I like, and it's a decent cost, and for that reason, it's one of the reasons why I use it. It's high performance, plus it's a decent cost, and that is KPX Kingpin Cooling. Good stuff. I use it on my computers, I use it on the consoles. I usually just do one thick line down the middle, and that is generally speaking enough. There's our MOSFETs, memory, yes, goes down this way. Time to put the X-clamp back on. X-clamp is a reversal. You want to... I generally tell people not to use a screwdriver when you're starting the screw. I like to grab it and gently walk it into the hole, just so I know I'm not cross-threading the starting part, because these can cross-thread. I have seen them cross-threaded, and it's bad news. So you want to avoid it at all costs. A couple extra seconds here is not the end of the world. And also, you can square everything up when you're doing it this way as well. So what I mean by that is you want to have the X-clamp wings, if you want to put, or the little tips that the screws sit on top of, you want those to be even. So now that we're going to put it back together, it's going to probably want to move on us a little bit. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to crisscross hatch here, keeping those all centered on both sides as we do it. Now that that's on and good, we can go ahead and bring our Southbridge board assembly back into the play here. Let's just back up a bit. So, and just gently squish that back on top, just like that. And go ahead and put your bourbon cable in. Make sure you seat it all the way. You'll hear the little click. Okay. Okay, so now at this point, I'm going to be doing a lot of cleaning. I'm not going to show you guys all the de-dusting and blowout of all the different stuff. So I'll be back here in a second, and we'll continue with the reassembly. As you can see, we're all blown out here. And yeah, I'll give it a little bit of a wipe. Small Phillips, there's one here. And then this, you're going to remove the main cable. I usually use my fingernail to get underneath the little door flap here, but you can use whatever works for you the best. Pair of tweezers works. Basically what we want to do is kind of move the board out of the way so that we can pull the laser assembly out. Then gently just peel that back just like that. Okay, so then the three screws we want to remove are these three main ones here. With that removed, you will be able to lift up on this assembly, and you will be able to jimmy jam it out of there, just like this. Okay. So, the parts that we care about inside the drive: the laser, and then some of the rubber entry points that grab the disc when it's going in, and also this little ring around the motor also can get dusty and cause the disc to slip. Be gentle. You don't need to push hard. You just want to gently, gently, gently buff it. And you don't want this ISO to be dripping wet. You just want it to be damp on the end. Okay, I'm also going to go around this real quick. Right? If these get really dusty, they can cause some problems. I really don't like using alcohol on anything rubber. It goes back to my days of office equipment. Iso alcohol can actually dry out rubber quite a bit. You're better off to use Windex here. Ideally, if I had soapy water in a bottle, that's what I would go for, because that is what works best on rubber. But you want to just try and get in there and clean it as well as you can. That board has to sit under that little finger right there. So for this, I am going to go with Windex. We'll see if that can pull that off of there. It likely will. It's usually pretty good with cigarette smoke. World better. Look at that. Okay. And that's one other test you want to do, is you want to make sure this spins nice and free, just like that. If that stops right away when you spin it, it's toast. It needs a new one. Put the latch back down. Right here, you can see it. Okay. Press the left side, press the right side, and you'll feel it lock. Now we can stick everything down nice and flat. There we go. So that is very close to being done. A couple more things we need to do. We need to put 2 screws in the bottom here. Now, putting the base on, it can be a little tricky actually. So the way I like to do it is there's this little line piece of plastic here. That is what actually locks the little tab that we were bending back here. Or sorry, it's right here. So what you want to do is try and get this tab off to the left hand side of that clip right here and fit your legs in down and then click it in. It's just a clockwise, it's an unclockwise to take it off. And the moment of truth, boom, power on, it's good. And there she comes. Boom, boom, boom. And it's alive. Alright guys, that is it for this one. I'm going to do some testing on this console. Just play a couple games, test the disk drive, make sure that's all good. And that is it for cleaning the Xbox Series X. This will now likely play games with no issues at all. But I will confirm that. I will confirm the drive. Just make sure everything else is hunky-dory with this bad boy. And that is going to be it for this one. I will see you on the next one. Peace. Peace.